We had to wait 3.5 games for it. We had seen James Harden play like an MVP all season. We had seen the Rockets bury threes at a record rate all season. We had seen Houston switching defense impress all season, 6th best in the NBA. We had seen Houston rack up 65 wins and make it look easy. Then we got to the playoffs and the Rockets couldn't put it all together at once. Harden struggled after Game 1, including going 0 of 7 in the first quarter Monday night. The defense was inconsistent and the threes were not falling. All of it let the Timberwolves hang around in the series, down 2-1, and the same in Game 4, down just a point at halftime. Then the Harden and Rockets we all expected showed up. Houston put up 50 points in the third quarter alone, shooting 61% overall and 9 of 13 from 3, plus they got to the line 13 times, and made every shot. The Rockets opened the second half on an 11-0 run that extended all the way to 25-4, with almost all of the damage from Harden, who had 22 in the quarter. The Rockets pulled away and cruised from there to an easy 119-100 win. We hit the switch we've been trying to hit since the beginning of the playoffs on both ends of the floor, Harden said post-game. It's pretty scary what we're capable of when defensively we're locked in like that, and offensively we got rolling. Houston now leads the series 3-1 and can close it out at home in Game 5 Wednesday night. In the first half this looked nothing like something that would end with a comfortable Rockets win. Houston struggled at the start of Game 4, opening 0 of 5 in the paint, including Harden missing an open layup. As a team, the Rockets started the game 4 of 16 from 3, and a lot of those were uncontested looks. The Rockets play a lot of isolation, but even for them the ball seemed to stick in the first half. If not for Trevor Ariza knocking down 3 from beyond the arc, the Timberwolves might have been able to pull away. The fact they didn't was a blown opportunity for the Timberwolves, something they just can't do in this series. It was a 1-point Rockets lead, 50-49, at the half. Minnesota had some moments on offense in the game, usually when attacking quickly off the Rockets switch. Derrick Rose had some moments and finished the game with 17 points. Karl-Anthony Towns had 22 points and 15 rebounds, Jimmy Butler had 19 points on 17 shots. But that was no match for the Rockets when they flipped the switch. It was a barrage of threes that we have waited for all season, and it all started with Harden and Chris Paul. They had all of the first 15 points of the second half for Houston. Harden finished with 36 points and hit 5 of 11 from 3. CP3 had 25 points and 6 assists. Eric Gordon finally woke up in this series with 18, and Ariza finished with 15. Minnesota is a talented team, but they are learning fast what a contender can do. Even not at their peak, the Rockets had taken 2 of the first 3 in the series, and when they did flip the switch it was another level. A level the Timberwolves want to get to. There are just some rough lessons along the road to getting there. Wesley Matthews still has value as an NBA player. However, he doesn't have $18.6 million in value on the open market right now, especially in what will be a tight market this summer, so he's going to take the cash on the table. Matthews is going to opt into the $18.6 million in the final year of his contract, the final season of a 4-year, $70 million deal, he told Dwayne Price of the Mavericks official website. He said he will pick up that option and return and play next season with the Mavs. Obviously that's something that hasn't been on my mind, Matthews said. That's what you have an agent or an agency's for. Like I said, I don't plan on being anywhere else. And now it's just focusing on getting back healthy, which I am now, and getting on this court. Matthews missed the final 16 games of last season with a stress fracture in his right fibula, and played in just 63 games total. He has been cleared to resume basketball activities now and is back on his workout routine. Matthews' biggest value has been on the defensive end, where he has been good on the wing for Dallas. Offensively, he averaged 12.7 points per game last season, shooting an improved 38.1% from 3 and with a true shooting percentage right around the league average at 54.1. He's been solid in Dallas, a glue guy and a veteran example for a young player such as Dennis Smith Jr., although they paid him that contract to be more than just solid. Matthews' name came up in trade rumors last deadline, and now that he has an expiring deal you can expect his name to come up again this summer and into next season, if he's not moved. He's an interesting trade piece who could help a lot of playoff-bound teams, something the Mavericks are not likely to be. In Game 1 of their series, the Philadelphia 76ers, without Joel Embiid, blew the doors off the Miami Heat, winning by 27. It's the kind of game that can lead a young team to overconfidence. That's when Draymond Green texted Joel Embiid some words of advice, reports Jessica Camarada of NBC Sports Philadelphia. Draymond texted me after the first game when we blew Miami out, Embiid recalled Monday. He basically told me that it's not going to be the same in Game 2. They came back and they won that game. Green was right, but it's one of the harder things for young players to understand, how much the ground can shift game to game in the playoffs. For the first 4 games especially, matchups and strategies will change night to night, and around Game 5 that tends to settle down and become more about execution and talent. For the Sixers, everything in their series changed with the return of Joel Embiid. Unhappily wearing a mask, Embiid's defensive presence in the paint slows the Heat attack and allows things like Philly's Game 4 comeback win on the road. Now Embiid's about to make his home playoff debut in Game 5 Tuesday night, with a chance to close out the series. The atmosphere was amazing, it was insane, Embiid said of the home crowd in Games 1 and 2. After going to Miami, I felt like nothing compared to it. We've been almost perfect at home since the beginning of the year. It just shows you how much we need them. Especially myself, I play better in that type of environment. I need the fans to get into it and push me. That makes me elevate my game. Beyond the first round, in an East where the expected best teams, Toronto and Cleveland, have looked vulnerable, the door is open. A lot of people say that we have a bright future, but I think our time is now, Embiid said. We have a pretty good chance. We have a special team, a lot of great guys. I don't think we need anybody else. We've just got to work with what we have, and we have a special team. I feel like we have a pretty good chance to go far. Jay Crowder threw an ejection-drawing elbow, and teammate Donovan Mitchell couldn't contain his grin as he pulled Crowder from the scuffle. Steven Adams took the elbow in the face, and he didn't even flinch. Both the Jazz and Thunder showed their competitiveness in Utah's chippy 113-96 Game 4 win Monday. The difference, the Jazz delivered the blow. Oklahoma City took it. Utah has won 3 straight to take a 3-1 lead in the first-round series. Teams without home court advantage up 3-1 in a best-of-7 series have won at 89% of the time. Still, those leading teams lose Game 5 on the road 74% of the time. Game 5 of this series is Wednesday in Oklahoma City. In other words, the Jazz have seized control of the series. They probably won't close it out in Game 5 though the way they're playing, they certainly could. Mitchell scored 33 points tonight, the first 30-point playoff game by a rookie since Brandon Jennings in 2010, 34 points. Mitchell has already scored 110 points this postseason, the most by a rookie since Harrison Barnes in 2013, 193 points. With Utah increasingly likely to advance, Mitchell has a chance to catch Dwayne Wade 234 points in 2004. He's playing amazing, Ricky Rubio said of Mitchell. He doesn't seem a rookie at all. Rubio, the star of Game 3, happily deferred to Mitchell tonight. Russell Westbrook's guarantee to shut down Rubio meant little, as Rubio set the tone as a passer. His 8 assists don't do him justice, as he made key passes that led to fouls drawn and other advantage situations for his teammates. We play as a team, Rubio said. Westbrook, on the other hand, looked out of control. He committed 4 first-half fouls, and though calls were questions, he also committed 5 turnovers and shot just 7 for 18. The question isn't whether Westbrook was reckless. He was. The only debate is just how reckless. Westbrook's fervor hardly stood out. In addition to Crowder's ejection, the game featured 6 other technical fouls, on Paul George, Quinn Snyder, Steven Adams, Joe Ingles, Rudy Gobert and Raymond Felton. And there was even more trash-talking on physicality than whistled. There just wasn't nearly enough sustained production from the Thunder. George, 32 points on 9 of 21 shooting with 6 turnovers, had moments but was far too sloppy. Oklahoma City's Big Three shot dreadfully from beyond the arc, Carmelo Anthony, 0 for 6, Westbrook, 0 for 3, and George, 2 for 9. Utah led by double digits the final 23 minutes. Joe Ingles made as many three-pointers, 5 for 11, as the Thunder combined 5 for 26. Ingles is an excellent shooter, but the Jazz's offense hummed and got him open looks. His outside shots are a bellwether of a Utah team cruising. It's been a glorious night for Utah Jazz fans. In Game 4 the Jazz have taken care of the Big Three of the Thunder in what has been a very physical, chippy game. Jay Crowder even got ejected. Between their team going on big runs and the physical play of the game, the Utah Crow, one already with a reputation for verbal hostility toward opponents, has savored every second of it. That includes former Massachusetts governor, presidential candidate, and current Utah Senate candidate Mitt Romney, who reminded Russell Westbrook exactly how many fouls he picked up. Twitter, which has its own reputation for verbal hostility, was not kind to Romney after this. Of course, he earned it with that outfit. Wait a minute, this Mitt Romney thing just got even better. He's wearing a Rodney Hood jersey to the game. That's incredible. Tim Bontemps, at Tim Bontemps, April 24, 20